Today we're going to learn 3 ways to tie a tie. Stay tuned. What up, fam? Welcome to Skill Tree, where we learn how to do just about everything. Today I'm hitting a skill requested by one of you skill monkeys. Nomadic Chaos wrote, "I think one we could all use is how to tie a tie." Thank you, Nomadic Chaos, for the request. So as with most seemingly simple skills, there is a lot more nuance to the whole tie thing than I initially thought. So to streamline this for you, I'm first going to go over how to tie the different knots, and then I'll go over when to use each knot and which one will complement your style best. And if you want to jump around, all of that will be timestamped in the description. Finally, I'm going to mirror this footage, so it's going to look exactly the same as it will when you're doing it in the mirror, in case you want to follow along. Alright, with all that out of the way, it's time to get dapper and level up this skill. The 4-in-hand. The 4-in-hand is the simplest to learn and creates a narrow, asymmetric knot. Start by positioning the thin side so it ends just above your navel. Now cross the wide end over. Then wrap it around the back. Take notice of the position of my fingers. You'll want to keep them here. Wrap the tie over your fingers. Now bring it under and through the neck loop. Remember those fingers? Thread the tie through the gap left by them. Now hold the thin end while tugging on the wide end to set the knot. Then pull on the thin end and guide the knot into place. Finally, thread the thin end into the little loop on the back of the thick end to keep it in place. The half Windsor. The half Windsor is medium in size, symmetrical, and super versatile. Start it by adjusting your tie so that the thin side ends just above your navel. Cross the wide side in front of the thin, then wrap it around the back. Now bring it up and through the neck loop. Notice my finger position. Bring the tie around your fingers, then pass it up and through the neck loop. Now we're going to thread it through the space created by your fingers. Hold the thin side while tugging on the wide side to set the knot. Then pull on the thin side while sliding the knot into place. Finally, place the thin end into the keeper loop on the back of the wide side. The Windsor knot. The Windsor knot creates a large, symmetrical, triangular knot. Start it by adjusting your tie so that the thin end rests about sternum level. Cross the wide side in front of the thin. Now pass it up through the neck loop. Pass it around the back, then over and through the neck loop from the front. Notice my finger position. Bring the tie around your fingers, then pass it up through the neck loop. Now we're going to thread it through the space created by our fingers. Hold the thin side while tugging on the wide side to set the knot. Then pull on the thin side while sliding the knot into place. Finally, place the thin end into its keeper loop at the back of the wide side. And there you have it, 3 simple knots to keep you styling on any occasion. But that does bring us to a question. Which knot to use? So there are 4 things to consider when deciding which knot to go with. These are the type of collar on your shirt, your body type, the material the tie is made from, and the overall style of the tie. Those first 2 points, your collar type and your overall body type, all have to do with proportions. For example, if your shirt has a really widespread collar, you really wouldn't want to use like a 4-in-hand knot, because that small knot will make that spread seem way bigger and kind of cartoonish. Instead, you'll want to use a larger knot like the Windsor to fill up that space. Also, with your body proportions in mind, if you have like a really thick neck, using a tiny knot like the 4-in-hand is going to make it look even bigger. Conversely, if you have a really thin neck, if you use the Windsor at such a large knot, it might make you seem even more thin. The material of your tie can affect the knot's overall look and outcome as well. So if you have a tie with really thick material, the knots will come out a little thicker. So if you're tying something like the Windsor knot, that's going to be even larger and more voluptuous. As long as that's what you're going for, all the more power to you. But with style, it's important to make sure it's a style choice and not just kind of something that happens on the side. Finally, you want to consider the overall style of the tie. If you like rocking a skinny tie, then maybe something like a Windsor knot is going to look kind of funny, this big knot with this tiny little tie coming out of it. Also, your setting could play a role in your selection, with the Windsor seeming more formal and refined. The 4-in-hand seems a little bit more relaxed and fun, and the half Windsor bridges that gap by just being a good versatile knot. Woo, you are looking slick! Alright, before you go out there and take over the world, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up button if you liked what you saw, also hit subscribe so you know when I release new content. Finally, if there are any skills you want me to cover, leave it in the comments section and I will add it to the list. Alright, well I should go. Went through all this trouble of getting all dressed up. Should at least show it off a little bit. In the meantime, keep leveling up, you.